here. Manic, bipolar, and you know that this person is crazy. What are you gonna do? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Sierra. For those who are new, thank you so much for stopping by. Today I will be sharing another relationship story time, and I will be adding it to, of course, my playlist that I have of relationship series. I know that I'm supposed to make this video today because I've been experiencing such warfare just to make this video. I was literally already supposed to make this video about 2 months ago. Yeah, the other video that I had shared, he did voodoo on me. I experienced so much warfare to even make that video. And that video has, I thank God, all glory unto God, has really been a blessing to other people's lives. And, you know, I just want to encourage anyone out there who does make YouTube videos, who the Lord is pressing upon your heart to share certain things from in your life's journey, is going to really bless somebody else. I know so much so that the Lord wants me to continue to share these different story times and just relationship lessons that I've learned. I was praying and worshiping, and then, I just became still and was waiting to hear, what the Lord had to say. And I kind of fell asleep during that time of waiting. And as I was awakening, I heard the Spirit of the Lord speak, and he said, move yourself so that you can help somebody else. I have so many story times of different relationships that I have gotten myself into, but it was because of lack of knowledge. A lot of it had to do with how you felt about yourself. And some people automatically assume that, oh, you have low self-esteem because you got into these relationships. I just don't believe that I had a strong sense of self and purpose and who I was at the time. And so what you do is you get yourselves into these relationships, and they are something to do to pass the time. So 2021 coming into 2022, the Lord has been just slowly been taking me through different relationships, because what you don't understand is that relationships are super duper important. And if you look in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, you will see that the Lord works through relationship. This person had to meet this person to get to destiny. This person had to meet this person to receive this and have this imparted in them to get to where God needed them to be. And so relationships and navigating relationships is a part of our whole entire life. From the moment we're born to the day we go home to be with the Lord, it's important that we learn how to navigate and have healthy relationships with people, not just in a woman and man relationship, but even with friends and brothers and sisters and cousins. And so that's something that God is working on me with. God is working on the things in my heart. I feel like this is a hard working season that the God has been doing with his people. And I know I'm not the only one. Be like, yeah, the Lord has been just uprooting these things out of our hearts. So you got to understand, the Lord says that the deeds of a man are the reflection of his heart. For out of your heart flows the issues of your life. It's going to flow on how you look at yourself. This is going to flow from your heart, how you navigate the tough places in your life, how you deal with people, how you speak to people, how you handle situations. If you're a person who avoids things, how you see the world, how you even relate and interact with the Father. It all has to do with relationships. And so if we are not in a good footing or a good ground in our heart, our heart is messed up. Personally, my personal belief that you will not reach your destiny if you do not allow the Lord to do heart work. If you don't allow him to do that heart surgery on you, because it's going to hinder you from going into your destiny, from going into your next. Your walk with the Lord, being a true Christian, being Christ-like, having a relationship, not religion, having a relationship with Jesus Christ. This is a process that you are going to forever go through, of working on your heart and God perfecting those things concerning you. And he said he will perfect those things concerning you as you're living in the earth, not when you go to see him here, and especially perfecting us in the area of love. He said he will do that here. And what I realized is from the time the Lord had me begin to share series of events that have to do with relationships in my life that I've gone through up until now, I'm telling you, I cannot make this up. I don't have time to come up here and sit up here and lie. These are the true things that I have been through in my walk as a human being in this earth, and and I just want to be able to help somebody else to pay it forward, to be blessed, to be a blessing. Like the Lord told me in my prayer time, and the Lord said, you need to move yourself to bless somebody else. And so he was telling me, look, stop procrastinating and make these videos concerning these relationships. Move yourself out of the way, move yourself. Stop thinking about what other people are going to think about you when you share these things. Move yourself, because somebody needs you to move so that they could be helped. And so that's what I'm here to do today. And I just wanted to share that before I go into the story time. Let's just put it like this. This person was a bad person. They did very bad things. They stole from people. They robbed establishments. They robbed people that they knew. They shot at people. They hurt people. I've had people who have been armed coming to look for this particular person. And I know if it was only because of the grace of God that they didn't hurt me. This person used to put drugs and guns and transport those things in my car. I didn't know that this person had did these things. This person was isolating me from my family and friends, and they would make it their business to sabotage healthy relationships that I had with people so that I could just so they could just have me to themselves. And so I'm gonna just tell you some things that you can look out for to let you know if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. And I'm gonna tell you a story time for each one. He would make it his business to verbally humiliate me at any time. A verbal humiliation can be as simple as somebody just cursing you out, or just humiliating you in front of people, degrading you, talking down to you, just verbally disrespecting you. One story time where he verbally humiliated me in front of others. At this time, I was already in. He already did his mass manipulation, just making me think that I needed him more than he needed me, and it really was the other way around. And he was a person that was in and out of prison, in and out of the juvenile detention center since he was about 13 or 14. And I'm not talking about some small things. I'm talking about gun possession, drugs, hurting other people. So I didn't find out those things until later on, as we're going on in the relationship, and I'm realizing this person is a very dangerous person. This day he thought that he was gonna verbally humiliate me in front of the people that he lived with in his house. And so this day he wanted me to wash his clothes. And I had been coming out of pocket for everything. He was using my car. He had this really, really big bag of clothes. And he was like, you gonna wash my clothes. And I'm like, I'm not washing your clothes. I'm not bringing that. And I'm talking, it was a big bag. I'm talking a big bag to the point where it was like a month's worth of clothes in this bag. It was like bags. And I said, no, I'm not gonna wash your clothes. And so I went to go get in my car to leave. He was yelling, he was cursing, grabbing on me, all types of stuff. And I kind of broke free and I left. As I was driving down the street, he calls my phone and he's like,
you better get back here. If you don't get back here, we're done, we're over. I'ma do this, I'ma come after you.
And in my mind, if I heard this today, somebody calling me because they wanted me to wash their clothes, I'd be like, whatever, dude, click, block. Do you know there was some sense of fear there? And I turned around and I went and I got those clothes and I washed all those bags of clothes. Wanted me to be with him 24/7. He did not want me spending too much time with anyone else. Another example of that is them isolating you from family and friends, isolating you from anyone, cross-examining you, everything that you do, and even accusing you of sleeping with other people or cheating on them. In essence, this is the things that they're doing. So they do projection. They will manipulate you to the point where you will be actually thinking that you're actually doing these things. And manipulation is a form of witchcraft, and that's what people don't know. A lot of people don't understand that it is not your job as a human being to try to change the way someone thinks or to try to change a person. God is the only one that can change somebody. when you talk to somebody or you're dealing with people, what I've learned in my experience is trying to get someone to see what it is that you're saying. And then that person will have the choice, or the Lord will impress upon that person's heart and do work on that person's heart to change their perspective, to change their mind. That's up to God. One comes to water, another one comes to plant, but ultimately God is the one that gives the increase. But it is not to you as a human being to try to change the way a person sees things, to try to change the way the person does something. That is manipulation, and that is a form of witchcraft. They would isolate me from family and friends. They would accuse me of sleeping with other people. I have a cousin of mine, I call him my brother cousin. He accused me for the longest time of that wasn't my cousin, and that he wasn't my cousin, and that I was sleeping with him and that was my boyfriend. Even went so far to even ask my mom if that was my cousin. So my whole family is verifying, like, this is her cousin. Here's the family photos. Like, still this person is accusing me. So I remember this one time we were walking and I was going into a store. I seen a cousin of mine, his friend, and another guy that I had went to high school with. They came over. They hugged me. I introduced, you know, I was like, okay, this is my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. They were like, hey, man, you know, what's up? What's going on? Okay, we went on our way. He played the whole thing off like he was just, you know, relieved and everything that, okay, he got introduced. After we rounded that corner, he snatched my keys from my hand and he ran to pull off in my car without me and leave me there. And he's driving like a maniac. He's just doing 100. And so when he got to the top of the hill, what he didn't realize was there was a speed bump. We flew up in the air and we bam down. And this is my car. He didn't even stop. He was driving all crazy, threatening that he was gonna drive into a pole. He gonna drive off of our bridge, you know, all of this stuff. And you know that this person is crazy, and you know that this person is good for what they're saying. Like, what are you gonna do? Controlling your time, that is something that emotional abusers or abusers will do. They don't want you to be around anybody else. They want to isolate you because they want to be able to further manipulate you, and they want you to do what they want you to do. They want to totally have control over you. He would demand to have my car. He was interrupting my education. You know, he didn't trust me. And that he knew that when I would go to school, or he knew that I wasn't in class, I was somewhere doing with somebody in a library, or, you know, just like crazy stuff. He began demanding that he drive me to school. I need a car and I'm gonna drive you to school, and, you know, whatever, you better be ready when I come back for you. Like, you know, all that crazy stuff. And I'd be like, okay, whatever. I would go to my class. I was in a creative writing course and I was in the middle of the lesson. The class was probably about an hour long. He decided he wanted to come 30 minutes before the end of the lesson. And that he knew what side of the building to go on, and he started beeping the horn. Beep, 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 beep.
Come outside! Come outside! I told you I was gonna be here!
I was so embarrassed. I took all of my books and I just ran out of the class because I didn't know what to do. Like, I then knew, like, I had to get away from this dude. There's like so many other stories I could tell you guys. Like, it's so crazy. Hindering me from progressing, hindering my education. You know, he didn't want me to go to school. So there was some times where I would begin to miss certain days of school, and I enjoyed school. I was an honor student in college. You know, I can't even believe that I allowed myself to even get wrapped up into something like this. Trying to control my time, but he was doing stuff all the time. He didn't like my best friend at the time, and, you know, he didn't like the fact that her man was telling her things and then she was telling me. So she, you know, I was getting schooled on, like, okay, this is what this dude is doing, you need to get rid of this dude. She would see, you know, him being in and out, him bringing other females, him hanging out with other females and stuff like that. He had a whole thing going on, whole baby mama drama, baby mama calling my house, having the baby, having his daughter. At the time, she was really small, maybe about, I don't know, something like that, 3 or 4 years old, and have her leaving messages
like, mommy said come back to the house, mommy said you need to come get your clothes,
you know, all of this drama business. But he sought out to make sure to get rid of her so that I wouldn't leave. I to this day don't know the things that he said to her, but whatever he did and whatever he said, It destroyed my relationship with her. He had a way of making people go away from me. She didn't know that he was abusing me. She didn't know all these things that was going on because I really wasn't talking about it like that. I was just being quiet about it. I know she realized that I was acting different. I know she was realizing that I wasn't the same, but she didn't realize what was going on. This dude, half of the time, was holding me against my will. This dude, half of the time, if I would try to leave, was hiding my keys. It resulted in, I guess he had seen her one day when I might have been at work or at school. It was like that week I was supposed to see her, but I didn't hear from her or whatnot. Out of a week, we would see each other like maybe 4 or 5 times out of the week. That's how close we were because we were like sisters. So I called her and I'm like, yo, hey, what's up, V? Like, I haven't heard from you. Like, what's going on? Like, she was just like, see, you know what it is. It is what? And she was like, won't you ask your boyfriend? Won't you ask your boyfriend? She just was like, I gotta go. And then she hangs up on me. I leave work that night and I go and I see him. And as soon as I stepped into his house, he goes,
oh, I just want to let you know, I saw your friend. I saw your friend when I went to go get food earlier and, you know, I took care of that.
This particular day, he began to blame me for everything. Everything that was happening in his life from the time that he was a child to the time that he came out of prison and he met me. It was all my fault. The reason why he couldn't get a job, the reason why blah, 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 the reason why he was mad right now. And he just started yelling. He had food and he took that food and he splattered that food. That food had hot sauce, it had ketchup, it had everything, and he splattered it all over my car, banged on my windows, got out the car and slammed the door so hard to the point where I had a crack in my windshield. It was just like manic. He was just like that manic bipolar, and he was just angry, and it was unnatural. It was very like predator alien like. He messed up my whole entire car, cracked my window, all that kind of stuff, and hopped out and left. And of course I sat and I cried for a bit. I was distraught. I was shocked. I didn't grow up with people doing stuff like that, especially that behavior towards me. Let me tell you, I wasn't a punk or anything like that, but I'm a very feminine woman, and I was very soft then, you know, and I was just coming into being a young woman and things like that. And what am I gonna do? What am I just gonna jump up and just, you know, gorilla banging him right in his face? And, you know, what am I gonna do? Maybe about an hour or two, he just started blowing up my phone. I'm talking about calling me like 10 times in less than a minute. I don't even know how that's possible. He wound up coming to my house. He came and he detailed my whole entire car and got everything fixed. He acted like nothing happened. At a later time, what happened in the car, he blamed me and said that that was my fault. I caused that. Look what I made him do. This is what some emotional abusers do. Threatens to harm you or to harm people that you love. Trying to pin me down and keep me, you know, there. You know, threatening that, you know, if another guy walks up to me and kisses me or hugs me, he doesn't care if it's a family member or a friend or not. He's gonna take care of them. Those are some of the stories of that particular relationship. Some of the signs is verbal humiliation, demanding all your attention. They want to control your time, who you see, blame you for everything that goes wrong. They threaten or harm you or family or people that you love. How to recognize some of those symptoms: they're cursing you out, repeatedly cross-examining you, bullying you, degrading you, name-calling, put-downs, ridicule. They insult your friends, they insult your family members, they threaten to harm family members, people that you care about. They abuse family pets. I've heard about that one. They don't want you to leave the house. They don't want you to leave their sight. And so I went through that a whole lot. And they want to make you think that your stuff is their stuff. Like, as a matter of fact, they will manipulate you so good to make you think that the stuff that you know is your stuff, it was really their stuff to begin with. So why do you have it? They follow you, limit your phone conversations. Again, he didn't want me talking on the phone to anybody. Interrupt phone conversation. Very jealous and constantly accusing me of cheating, even with family members and friends. It could be like my brother. It could be my sister. It could be my cousin. It could be the pet. He's like, you sleeping with him? You cheating with him? gaslighting. And so that's a part of the manipulation of constantly trying to make you second guess your thoughts, second guess what you saw, what you heard, what you know, feel distrustful with your own memory and recounting of things, you know. And so these were some of the things that I went through. So how I wind up getting out of that relationship, because they was not going to let me go. They was not going to stop. He had a lot of my stuff at his house. He was always taking pictures of me. Sometimes when I was not dressed, he would take pictures of me. When I was sleeping, he would take pictures of me. He had all these kind of pictures of me throughout his house hidden. I didn't trust him. He was the type of person, like, I knew that he was the type of person that would go take those pictures and go and start showing people. And I would try to take things one by one, because that's what he did. He would purposely make sure I always had stuff there. And it was like stuff that I cared about, because he know that I would always have to come back for it. If I know that he had 20 pictures of me that were naked or indecent pictures that a lot of times he took against my will. So I had to play along for a while to kind of just like get away. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I was taking things one by one to get away from this dude. And until I got everything that I needed and I wanted. And I would do things like, okay, like he would go take a shower. And so while he would go and be in the shower, I would go and I would just start rampaging through the room and just looking through all the places that I knew that he had these things hidden. And he would purposely hide, like, for instance, the pictures of me throughout his house or throughout his bedroom, you know, and play like, he was pawning my stuff. He was doing all types of stuff. He was just taking from me. Yeah, he was an opportunist. I took all my stuff and I just left. And I made sure, like, phone number was changed. I made sure that they was blocked and everything like that. And I just left. And of course, they sought to hunt me down. They was blowing up my phone, calling me, trying to show up to my house, trying to show up to my job, all types of stuff, you know, all types of things. And that went on for a while. And I would just avoid them. I would just avoid them and let them know it's over. And, you know, eventually he got the message and he moved on. How I overcame all that emotional abuse that I was going through in those relationships, you know, I left that relationship and I got into a whole nother one. And it was a whole lot, because I never dealt with that. I never sat in it, and you need a break. You need to realize, like, what just happened to you. So I just want to give a little advice. It starts small like that. It starts with the yelling. It starts with the threatening. It starts with the humiliation. It starts with the isolating you. It starts with the love bombing you and then making you believe that you need them more than they need you, that you just can't live without them. You just really ignoring stop signs, not even red flags, it's stop signs. You're ignoring the big battleship that's on the front of you that is bright red and has streaming iridescent lights. Like, get away from him. Eventually, when God releases me to be able to tell those other story times, you know, I will go ahead and I will share them with you. But this is just one of the story time. I praise God that I'm in a place where I'm able to share with you. That is my story. And I praise God for delivering me. And, you know, even during those times, I believe that God was with me. I always believe that God did have greatness in store for me. And I didn't have to go through those things, but I was allowed to go through those things, you know, partly it was because of my rebellion, partly because it was a lack of knowledge. But, you know, I went through those things, and I thank God that I have overcome not allowing those things to overtake my life. And learning how to, with the help of the Lord, with the help of learning, and, you know, with the help of different people that God raised in my life to coach me and to be as counselors, or to be, you know, as godly counsel in my life to help me to work through those things. You know, I really thank God that a lot of those things I have healed from. It doesn't mean that it's gone away, but it's not overtaking my life where it's ruling my life and ruling my emotions. And I praise God for that. And I pray that it bless somebody. If you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for, darling? Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell. So you hit the notification bell, you get notified when I upload, okay? And so until next time, be blessed, all right? Bye.